right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikakwadash, Dabana to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who do rule and teach woe. And peace and salutations to all you Akim out there pushing this truth across the four winds so we can seal the elect and make it to the kingdom. All right, it's the brother Uriah, Lord willing, coming back to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing to feed the body and edify the sheep in all spirit, faith, truth, sincerity, and doctrine. All right, so we're back with another reality check. All right, because prophecy is reality and reality is prophecy. Okay. All right, and what you're witnessing right now, what's going on in the world, all right, is all according to prophecy. All right. So, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the body and it feeds the sheep through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So, first and foremost, all right, let's do this. First and foremost, all right, we know what's going on in America. All right, with the uproars of the people. All right. And we know it stemmed from the national deportation. Okay, the nationwide deportations, all right, under this cruel king, all right, President Donald Trump. All right, now I want to grab this right here really quickly. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 4, just straight to the point. And the Egyptians, all right, and the modern day Egyptians, because according to the scriptures, America is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Okay, so you people that live here in America are spiritually Egyptians. Okay. All right. It says, and the Egyptians or Americans will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. Okay. That word cruel, all right, Hebrew word, all right, quasha, okay, quasha, all right, means hard, cruel, severe, all right, difficult, okay, fierce, intense, vehement, okay, stubborn, stiff of neck, stiff-necked, okay, and that perfectly describes the present day, all right, king of Babylon, all right, aka Donald Trump, okay, all right, and a fierce king shall rule over them, all right, saith the Lord Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, okay, so that's what that's what you're witnessing right now, okay, all right, a tyrannical president, okay, that fierce king, that cruel Lord, all right. And so just to prove that, all right, Trump deploys National Guard to LA, okay, because this is where, according to the media, all right, it started, all right, with these different protests against ICE, all right, ICE just popping out on the Northern Kingdom, all right, the Spanish speaking tribes of Israel, okay, just popping up at their job, snatching the pallet jack out of their hand, all right, throwing their ass in the back of a van and say, "You're going back to Mexico." You see, snatching up pregnant Issacharite women's, snatching them up and throwing them into the van, separating their families. Okay, but this is punishment, man, for you Spanish speaking tribes, because you were out there voting. All right, matter of fact, let me get this. All right, let me get this. Matter of fact, let's do the Mexicans. Look right here. I ain't got to finish typing it in. Look at that. Mexicans for Trump. Okay. Don't forget, they were out there voting. Okay. They were out there voting, man. Let's get the images. Okay. Latinos for Trump. Look at this. All right. Y'all out there voting. Look, I remember watching this live. Okay. Look, Latinos for Trump. See? And now Trump's saying, thank you for your votes. Now get the hell out of here. You see? All right. Now let's go back. All right. Because so you voted for this tyrannical president, man. This cruel lord. All right. But look at here. It says federal and it's from the guardian.com, okay? A news outlet. It says the federal judge rules Trump or President Trump illegally deployed National Guard troops to Los Angeles, okay? Because under the law, okay, the Constitution, all right, the if there is a riot or disruption amongst a certain state, okay, all right, that a mayor, okay, of that state has to request, all right, request the president to send troops to help. Okay, they can't just send them in. Okay, but Trump said, you know what, it's getting out of hand, I'm sending them. You see, and that's why it says federal judge rules Trump illegally deployed National Guard troops to Los Angeles. Okay, so he's that cruel king. All right, he's that cruel lord. He's that fierce king. All right, that tyrannical president. All right. And this is what you guys get, okay? Because you're voted Latino for Trump. See? All right, and that's what you get, man. All right. Never trust thine enemy. We're gonna grab that. All right. But first, all right, this organization that's combating, all right, Trump, all right, is called NoKings.org. Okay, No Kings organization. Okay, and this is because Trump likened himself, all right, to a king. Look, it says Trump, who has likened himself to a king. Okay, bristles at No Kings protests. See, all right, that's why they have here. Let's go back to the images. That's why they have, you know, for their promotions, they have the crown X'd out. All right, but look, this is all for Trump. Okay, No Kings mass protest June 14th. You see, which we're going to get into that. Look, you see. Now, as far as this organization, all right, as far as this organization, look, this is the website for the organization, all right, that's starting these protests against Trump. It says a core principle behind all No Kings events, all right, is a commitment, all right, is a commitment to a nonviolent action. Okay. You see, it says we accept all participants to seek to de-escalate any potential confrontation. Now, here's the thing, right? Who set up this organization? Okay, this smells fishy. And going back into the title, all right, it's a trap. All right, and let's prove it's a trap. I want to go ahead and play this video because here's a fellow, all right, that claims he was approached. And there's lots of videos, so this is not just the only video. Okay, not just this guy, but a lot of people. Okay, as you can see, it says he got approached by this No Kings organization, right? $200 a day to protest, all right, against ICE in New York City, right? Let's see what he says here, because I want you to pay attention to something he says.
I just got offered $200 a day to go protest ICE in New York. The organization was called No Kings. They said June 14th, we're going to be protesting, and these are the streets that you need to be on, and this is what you need to do. You need to cause chaotic disruptions, and they said that there's going to be pallets of like bricks and different things everywhere.
There's going to be pallets of bricks, all right, and protest gear already there on the scene. Something smells fishy. Okay, look, like the brother said, paid protesters, or it's like paid rioters everywhere, right? All right, but even with this riot gear that's supposed to be placed, all right, and this might be, you know, just a psyop as well. All right, this guy might have been paid to just say that he's been paid, or make the claim that he's been paid by this organization. All right, you see. Or it could be true. All right. But I want to go a step further, right? Because here I have this video here. All right. As you can see, this is from the White House. Okay. All right. And the White House speaker. And this is from a day ago, by the way. Okay. And this right here, all right, her name is Leavitt. Okay. And she's the White House speaker. Okay. The official speaker of the White House for President Trump. All right. And one thing she said, all right, Leavitt briefs press on White House response to LA riots. Right. Now let's see, after a reporter asks her a question, let's see her response. I want you to listen very, very closely, because it links up with what that guy, the claim that the guy made about him being approached, all right, and given incentives, okay, to go out and cause havoc during these riots.
Certainly an important issue, and I'll get back to you. Thanks, Caroline. The president said yesterday that paid insurrectionists were behind or involved in the protests in Los Angeles. Does the White House have any more details about who they believe is paying these protesters?
The president spoke about this last night when he returned from Fort Bragg, because frankly, the president has a lot of common sense. And if you look at some of the imagery that we have received from the Department of Homeland Security and ICE and law enforcement who are on the ground, you will see boxes and boxes of very professionalized masks and rioting equipment being dropped off for these protesters. So it's a good question the president is.
And this is straight from the White House. Okay, doesn't mean it's true, right? But why are they all saying the same thing about this riot gear? All right, what she said, professional riot gear being dropped off in boxes. All right, for the protesters. Okay, all right, and all it takes is for that one agent to put on the mask, put on the riot gear, and pick up a brick and throw it for everybody to go ahead and follow along. Especially Jake. Remember, we are our people are the lost sheep. Okay, sheep just follow. Okay. All right. And our people are definitely followers, especially of Esau. All right. But I want you to hear that one more time. All right. One more time.
Has a lot of common sense. And if you look at some of the imagery that we have received from the Department of Homeland Security and ICE and law enforcement who are on the ground, you will see boxes and boxes of very professionalized masks and rioting equipment being dropped off for these protesters. So it's a good question the president is raising, and one we are looking into, about who is funding these insurrections.
Well, you know who's funding it, man. Okay. All right. I don't want to see no commercial. Lord willing. Yeah, I don't want to see no commercial. All right. But you know who's funding it. Okay. All right. You see, ultimately it's going back to the elites, man. All right. Because they want this place to a circle to drain. They want America to go down the drain. They want you people to suffer. Okay. They want to ultimately bring in what? Martial law. Okay. So let's go back here because I want to grab a precept. Second Esdras. All right. Going back into the title, it's a trap. Okay. It's a trap. I believe it's Second Esdras. Believe so like it one sec. Oh, okay. I was about to say 19. It's Second Esdras 9. Okay. And we'll read verse 1 at the top and go down to 5. Okay. Second Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1. And it reads, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. Okay. Only the men of the Lord. Okay. The true worshipers of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right, of the Israelites can measure this time. Okay. The prophets. All right. And how do we measure the times? All right. Via the prophecies. Okay. Via the prophecies, man. All right. That's how we measure the time diligently. Okay. It says, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, will begin to visit the world which he made. See? And how will the Lord visit the world? All right, via plagues and scourges, man. Okay, judgments. All right, via these prophecies, man. Okay. All right. So we know judgment, great judgment is coming, because check out the signs. Second Esdras 9 and 3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen, all right, we can see this, right? Earthquakes, all right, and uproars of the people. See, and uproars of the people in the world. Okay, not just here in the United States, but in the world. All right. But even here in the United States, okay, because check out these protests. All right. I got this here, all right, from a site. Let's see. Come on, pull it up. Pull it on up. All right. This is usatoday.com. Okay. And this is a Salakia. Continue to the site. It says this map shows where anti-ICE, all right, Trump protests have occurred around the United States. Okay. See this map right here. Okay. It's not just in LA, which is right here. Okay. It's all over. You got it in Washington. All right. You got it in Texas. You got it in Wisconsin. All right. Minnesota. You got it all over the East Coast. All right. You got it in Florida. I mean, you got it everywhere, man. Okay. Even in Alaska. Alaska, man. Okay. You see? So it's not just in LA. All right. The media wants you to, think that it's just LA. Okay. All right. And this is already occurring. You see? All right. And this is a Egyptian. All right. Versus Egyptian. Okay. Satan trying to cast out Satan, as it is written. Okay. All right. Matter of fact, let me grab that. Okay. So I'm mentioning it. So Satan cast out Satan. All right. This is the book of St. Matthew. Okay. And you see it's red letters, so you know who's speaking. All right. Our Lord and Savior, Yahushua Mashiach. All right. St. Matthew chapter 26 and verse, St. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 26. And it reads, and if Satan, all right, cast out Satan, what is it talking about? The spiritual demon Satan? Is two spiritual demons named Satan? No, it's talking about the wicked. Okay. All right. Esau, Edom, man. All right. The so-called white man, woman, and child, man. All right. All right. Because they're the head of all of this stuff, man. Okay. All right. It says Satan cast out Satan, or Esau cast out Esau, or Egyptian cast out Egyptian, right? Because that even includes you people, okay? You people in America. It says he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Okay, America is a kingdom, and it's not going to be able to stand, all right, with all of this division, okay? You see, it's not going to be able to stand, man, okay? Satan versus Satan. All right. The people versus the government, man. Okay. And on that note, let's get second Esdras. Okay. Let's get second Esdras, because this is how we measure the time diligently. Okay. All right. Via the prophecies, man. Second Esdras chapter 15. All right. And before we get the point, I want to read verse 1. All right. Second Esdras chapter 15 and verse 1. And it reads, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native and Seminole Indians, man. Okay. The prophets were sent out, right? We were sent out to speak in your ears, the ears of the Lord's people, man. The words of prophecy. Okay. Not the words of podcast, not the word on the street. All right. But the words of prophecy. Okay, it says, which I will put in thy mouth. Okay. All right. We're not going out spewing our own feelings and thoughts and emotions, man. This is all via the Lord. Okay. It's his words, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. Now let me skim on down to the point here. All right. Second Esdras chapter 15 and verse 16. And it reads, for there shall be sedition among men. All right. Let's get that word sedition. All right. What does sedition mean? So like it. Sedition. Okay. The word sedition. All right. It says sedition. All right. Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against authority of a state or monarch. You see that? Conduct or speech. All right. The conduct are these protests. Okay. The speech are the people that's inciting. See, inciting these protests. All right, in these rebellions. This is sedition. All right, to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Okay, America is a monarch. Okay, or Trump. Okay, is a monarch. All right, and these different states. It's going to happen in all 50 states, man. Okay, all 50 states, man. All right, because I want to point this out. Let me see. Yep. The June 14th map. Okay, because this is what they're promoting. All right, that they're going to do this nationwide protest on June 14th. Okay, now look at this map. All right, of the protests that have happened. Look, I mean, it's a lot, but there's nothing compared to this map. All right, so what's coming up is going to be a lot of chaos, man. All right, look at this map. All right, look at this map. All right, everything's covered up, man. All right, so these are all the protests that's going to be happening. All of these blue circles and these red stars, okay, are the main places, but it's going to be protests everywhere. Okay, all right, On every side of Babylon the Great, man. Okay, it's going to be disruption, uproars of the people, sedition. Okay, you see. So, hey, call y'all about Shemi Shai, man. Okay, all right, and this is one of the signs of the times, man. All right, the signs of the times, man. Okay, prophecy. All right. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, okay, rebelling against authority or monarchs, right? It says, and invading one another, okay? They're gonna be breaking into it to each other's houses, all right. Vandalizing stores and companies, all right, breaking into the store, stealing things, right? It says they shall not regard their kings, right? Like Trump, right? Trump deemed himself a king, right? Which he is a king, right? He's the king of Babylon, okay? But he's also that cruel king, all right? It says they shall not regard their kings, their presidents, nor princes, okay? Your aldermans, your mayors, all right? You see? It says, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay. You can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna protest against you. You see? And they're out there running people over, man. You know, that's in the protests. All right. You got people protesting, they're vandalizing cars as just driving past. Damn, they just want to get home from work. You know? I seen the video of so-called Mexican, all right, Issachar, all right, so-called Mexican woman with her children in the car just passing by, and they just crowded over her car, pulled her out of the car. She said, "I got kids in the car. I got babies in the car." They didn't give a damn. They pulled her out of the car, all right, and vandalized the car, and then the video ended there. So no telling what happened after that, you know. Probably stole a car with the kids in it, you know. You see, but hey, that's in the scriptures, man. Let me grab this really quickly. All right, Matthew 24. All right, and then we'll get back to the precepts because it's a trap, Jake. It's a trap. Esau's buttering you up, man, just so he can come in, all right, and destroy you, man. Okay. Let's see right here. All right, St. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, all right, iniquity is sin upon sin. All right. Let's see. Look, transgression. Okay. Iniquity, wickedness. Okay. Transgression is what? Transgression of the law. Okay. See, look, contempt and violation of the law. Okay. And only Israelites were given the law. Okay. So it says, and because iniquity shall abound, all right, sin upon sin. It says, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay. Come, because we're literally the Greek word psycho. Okay. Psycho. All right. So you're gonna have people that's gonna be psychotic out here, man. You know, just like that woman, that mother that got pulled out of her car. I got kids in the car. Get out of the car, man. You know? Hey, it's crazy out here, man. The love of many shall wax cold, man. All right. Now let's get to these precepts, man. All right, because it is a trap. Okay, it's a trap. All right. Let me get this before I get that. All right, Revelation 12 and 12. All right, Revelation 12 and 12. It's a trap, Jake. It's a trap. All right. Book of Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, and it reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Okay, here on earth, all right, is considered a heaven. Okay, there's three heavens. Okay, here on earth, all right, in the firmament, which is the sky, all right, and then also beyond the firmament, okay, in another realm, okay, which is the realm where the Heavenly Father and the angels and Yahweh Shai dwells. Okay, that's also in heaven. Okay, it says ye heavens, so it's talking about heaven right here on earth, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Okay, the islands, all right, and here in America on these different continents, right? It says, for the devil, right? For the devil, Esau, Edom, is come down unto you having great wrath. See, that's what Trump is doing, man. Okay. And he's going to do more. All right. He's going to bring in that, possibly bring in that martial law some way, somehow, man. They're going to bring it in there, man. Okay. They're going to crack down upon you people rebelling. All right. Showing sedition. You see, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So he's putting you people in a snare, in a trap. Okay. Because he knows that he got a short time. He's trying to rush this thing, man. Okay. His ultimate goal, okay, is to get you people down and out. Okay. Down to your last breath of life. All right. So he can swoop in and say, cool, we'll help you guys, but you got to get this RFID chip. See, you got to get this charagma. You got to get this mark of the beast. See? All right. They're already just like the big bro, the elder brother Aina, all right, here in Wisconsin, brought out, they're scanning people, man. Okay. They're not taking your fingerprints or let me see your ID so I can run it through the system. No. Stand in front of this orb, okay, and let me scan you. All right. Matter of fact, let me get this. Let me see if I can grab it. All right. Cops scanning. Nope, scanning people. All right. Cops scanning people. Let's see. I believe, is that it? 3D scanners finding you. See, look, right here. Let me see if I can find another one. They're actually scanning people, man. They're scanning your face. All right. This is woman. All right. Apostle Tahar posted the video. All right. And it was the Issachar, right, woman, if I believe, right? She said that they scanned me, and then all of my information popped up. See? All right, everything is moving towards the MOTB, okay? This new world order, this new world system, okay? The image of the beast is moving towards that. See? Look, police surveillance and facial recognition. You see? All right. They don't need to check. Why would they chase you? This ain't the 70s. This ain't the 70s, man. They're not chasing you, and then their car, you can yoke them, and then their car crash into each other. Now, damn, we lost the suspect. No, we're not living in those times anymore, man. Okay. This devil has technology, he has AI, man. All right. And he's using it against you people, man. All right. But he's doing all of this, man, because he knows that he have but a short time to rule. Okay. He knows that his rulership is almost up. So you got to hurry up. Get these niggas stirred up so that we can come in and put our foots in their ass and our chip in their hand and forehead. You see? Let me get this here. All right. Isaiah 10. You know where I'm going. All right. Book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. And it reads, woe to them. Come on. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees. Okay. The only people that have power, all right, on this earth that we live on today. All right. Only people in the world that have power to decree or mandate unrighteous mandates or decrees are Esau, Edom, man, the wicked. All right. Job chapter 9, verse 24. Okay. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He's ruling right now. Okay. And that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay. Prescribed. All right. To write, record, enroll. All right. Let's see. To register, enroll, to record. Let's see. The word pre. All right. Pre means pretty much before. All right. And scribe means to write. Okay. So they already had this planned. Okay. They already had this planned out, man. All right. They had a wicked plan. You just had to play into it. Okay. All right. You just had to be tricked into it. And that's exactly what we're witnessing, man. It's a trap. All right. So Micah 2. All right. This book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. All right. And it reads, woe to them that devise iniquity. Okay. It's talking about the same people, man. Okay. Esau, Edom, man. All right. When it says woe, here, let me go here. When it says woe, come on. When it says woe, come on. Let's see. Woe definition. Let's go there. Right here. Look, woe definition. Great sorrow or distress. See, great sorrow or distress. All right. It's going to come to those that are causing the great sorrow and stress among, the people. Okay. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity. All right. Iniquity is sin upon sin, transgression. All right. And work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. They doing it. I'm doing it because I can. See, because I want to, because I feel like, pushing out wickedness and evil. All right. I feel like judging, putting people to death. This is what this devil is doing, man. All right. But it says woe unto him, man. All right. Woe unto him that are causing woes. All right. Let's get this last one here. All right. See if I can spell it. Ecclesiasticus, I believe. All right. Am I right? All right. Okay. I hope so. Let's see. Ecclesiasticus. All right. The book. Yep. The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12. Let's see. Let's go right to the point. Verse 10. All right. Never trust thine enemy. You hear that, Jake? Latinos for throne. See, you trusted your enemy. All right. It says, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay. You see that? You see that, Jake? All right. And if you don't know he's a devil, you're about to find out, man, because he's about to show his horns. If you don't see the horns already, which you should see them, all right, you're going to see him pretty soon. Verse 11, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, he bound himself to you. Oh, yeah, I'm for the blacks. I'm for the Mexicans. I'm for the Latinos. He actually said that, man, when he was running for office. All right, and you people went right into it. All right, you played right into his hands. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Beware of this devil, man. All right. Why? And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. See, you're going to know, hey, look, you still the devil. Even though you're trying to be nice, you're crouching yourself, you're trying to come in peace, you're still Esau, Edom. You're still the wicked. I don't trust you. See, never trust thine enemy. All right. So it's all a trap, man. Okay. All of this protest talk and all of this stuff like that, it's a trap, man. All right. Let me grab one more video and we'll wrap it up. All right. One more video and then we'll end it off. Come on. Come on.
Way that you analyze this and you see this, you're going to not understand when martial law is called. You know what is about to happen? I'll tell you what is about to happen. The National Guard is the first call out. The Marines, the second call out. Doesn't that cause you to wonder, why are we getting all of these armed forces out when...
And she's a puppet, man. Okay. She, if you don't know Maxine Waters, this lady, right, because I'm pretty sure you recognize her face. If you don't, okay, look up Al Sharptongue and you're going to see her right next to him. Okay. And they're all puppets, man. Okay. For Esau Edom, man. She knows, just like the rest of these people right here, most likely knows what's about to happen, man. Okay. All right. And they could be fear mongering. Okay. Maxine Waters explaining how Trump plans to call for martial law soon. See? All right. You people are falling right into it, man. Falling right into it, man. All right. So I'm gonna end it there. Lord willing, is edifying to the body, and it fed the sheep through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Shalom and a Bible ball.